Hi everyone, so welcome back to a new video. Today is day 19 of our 30 days of JavaScript challenge, and the question that we will be solving today is execute asynchronous functions in parallel. Okay, so this question is the last question of promises and time, and it is one of the important, or we can say the most important question of the of the 8 questions that we have solved. Okay, because this question is the direct implementation of a predefined function. Okay, so the as defined here, it is a medium level question. Okay, so now let's see what is the question description here. So we have been given an array of asynchronous functions. Okay, so we have been given a functions named array which has like an array of an array of functions. Okay, so what we have the other thing given here, that we need to return a new promise. Okay, what we need to do, we have been given functions as an array and we need to return a new promise. Now why do we need to return a new promise? Because what we need to do here is that whenever we will be invoking each function in this array, right, it will return a new promise. Okay, or it will return a promise, and these functions that we will be calling, they will not have any arguments. Okay, so every time we invoke a function, it will return a promise. And the other thing that we have been mentioned in this question is that all these promises should be executed in parallel. Okay, so if we have, let's say, functions array. Okay, and in this we have two or three functions, function 1, function 2 and function 3. So if this is getting executed and this is getting executed, this also should complete the execution. Okay, it should not be still in pending state. All of them should be resolved in the similar time, or the same time. They should complete the execution simultaneously. Okay, so now we have the new promise, right? We will be getting the new promise from like this promises that are getting returned by the functions. Now this new promise that we are forming, that it has it will also either be resolved or rejected, right? So this promise will be resolved when the functions that are returning the returning the resolved value parallelly, means all together at the same time. Okay, and the other thing is, let's say we have here functions. Okay, and here we have function 1, function 2, function 3. So when they are getting resolved, right, so the resolved value that they are sending in the array. Okay, so let's say this is the result array. So if it is resolved 1, resolved 2, resolved 3, so this resolved one that we are getting, right, it should be on the same position at the function 1, right? Means if function 1 is returning resolved 1, then if function 1 is at 0 index, then it should also be at 0 index in the result. Okay, so the means resolved value and function calling, it should not be interchanged. Okay, if function 2 is at first index, then the resolved value that is forming, it should also be at first index only. It cannot be on second index, or it cannot be on third index. We have to keep this in mind, because then only our function will get resolved according to this question. Okay, so we have been told here specifically, the resolved value of promise should be an array of all the resolved values of promises in the same order as they were in the functions. Okay, so if in the functions how these are getting resolved, they should be in the same pattern or in the same order in the array of promises that we are returning. Okay, and they have again signified this, that the promise should resolve when all the asynchronous function in the array have completed execution in parallel. This will only be resolved if the function have completed execution in parallel. If any one of them is pending, then it will nullify the case and it will not be resolved. Okay, so when the promise gets rejected, okay, so when any of the promise returned from function is rejected, means there is a chance, right, means this function 1 is means sending rejected value, then the this new promise, it will also get rejected with the first instant only. Means if function 1 is getting rejected, the reason it is getting rejected, with that reason only our function or our new promise will get rejected. This only has been told here. Now promise should also get rejected with the reason of the first rejection. Means let's say we have functions here, okay. I will try to clarify it more. Now we have function 1, function 2, function 3. So what is happening here? This function 1 is getting resolved. Let's say it is getting resolved. And when we come to function 2, we see that this is getting rejected. So our the function, means the new promise that we have, it should also get rejected with the same reason or the same value, okay. So the first time, the first rejected value will be the reason for the new promise that is forming to get rejected, okay. So now this is the feature, or we can say it is the specification of a function that is predefined called promise.all. And in this question we have been told that we cannot use this function, okay. We need to implement this question, but we cannot use promise.all function. And this points that we have been given, it is the direct implementation of promise.all, okay. So now let's see first what is promise.all, okay. So promise.all in JavaScript is a function that accepts iterable of promises, or we can say array of promises as input. Like we have been told here that there what we were getting array of functions which was basically returning array of promises, right? So it does not make much difference. Here we will be like they have mentioned that we will be getting promises. Anyways, we are getting promises there also. So basically in this we will be getting array of promises, and this promise.all will return a new promise that resolves when all the promises passed have been resolved, okay. Like it was said there, when all the promises will be resolved, this new promise that will be formed, it will also get resolved, and it will get rejected. If this new promise will get rejected, then it will get rejected with the reason of the first promise that rejects. That means any of the promise that is getting rejected, whether it be like we have 5 promises and the last promise is getting rejected, then also it will be the first reason, right? It will become the first reason for the promise to get rejected, okay. So now let's see the basic syntax of promise.all, okay. So what is this? Like we have a array of promises here. This is one promise, this is second, and this is third promise. Now all of them are getting resolved, okay. So now what is happening? This after getting resolved, what will happen? Like this will take this array of promises, and since all of them are getting resolved, then what it will do? It will basically return the result as the output, okay. So here we have the condition where like all of them are getting resolved, and we have used your set timeout, okay. And so what will happen? This will get like executed after resolved after 1 second, this will get resolved after 2 seconds, and this will get resolved after 3 seconds. So here we don't have that specific thing that was asked in our question, that we cannot have the function getting resolved at different period of time. It should get resolved in parallelly, okay. So that is the thing. So therefore we don't have to implement set timeout there. We will not be using set timeout. All of them will be getting like resolved at the parallel time, okay. So that is it. So this is the basic implementation, right? So this promise.all will take the array of promises, and if all, like here what is happening, all of them are getting resolved, right? So it will also get resolved with the resolved value that they are sending, okay. Let's say if this first value was getting rejected, okay, this was getting rejected. So with the value with which it was, the reason or the value with which it was getting rejected, we would have got an error here, okay. The same error would have been displayed here. Now we know the basic like syntax of promise.all. Now how can we implement this promise.all without using the function and using the basic like looping and all, okay. So if we cannot use promise.all, okay, it can be implemented using for each loop or for loop as per our, like as per your choice. Okay, so here I will be using for each. Now I will be explaining this code step by step, because this is the direct implementation that we will be using in our question also. So here what I have done, I have chosen like the promises that we have been given previously. So this promises array only we will be taking, we are not taking the functions array here. So this is the array of promises, and now what I am doing, I am returning a new promise. Okay, so either this promise will get resolved or it will get rejected. So now we have two variables as declared here. One is carrying the result. What is this result? This result is the array which will be storing all the resolved values. Okay, this promise array will be containing promises, right? And all of them will get resolved with some value. So we will be storing those values in this result array. Okay, and this pending, right? What is this pending? This pending here means like what happened, we were told that the value should get resolved at the same time, right? So if let's say function 1 is there, function 2 is there, function 3 is there. Now we can like we will be iterating, and we need to see that all of them have returned some value or not. Now let's say function 1 returned a value, function 2 did not return a value, and function 3 returned a value, means this got rejected, and there was like some it did not return the value synchronous, means asynchronously, or we can say at the same time. So what will happen, now we have kept our pending with the means length of the promises. Now let's say we have three promises, or yeah, we have three promises, p1, p2 and p3. So now let's say this is not resolved, this is resolved, this is resolved, this is resolved. Now what we are doing here means this promises dot length, it will show that how many promises we have, right? So means this pending will store the number of promises, and if we see that like let's say we have three promises here and only two got resolved, still one is in pending state. This means that this new promise, it will go to rejected, right? It cannot be resolved until and unless all of them get resolved at the same time. So in such cases where the value will not go to 0, what will happen, we will just reject the error. Okay, so now let's see with the help of functions, so it will be more clear. I use the promises here, now I will use the function. Okay, so let's say we have functions here. Okay, now this functions has three function, function 1, function 2, function 3. Okay, so this is returning promise 1, this is taking time to execute, okay, and this has not returned any value, and this is returning promise 3. Now this state, this will be empty. Okay, we cannot insert any value at other position. We had been told that if function 1 is returning a promise, it should be at the same index as function 1. Okay, so what we are doing here, this index will remain empty. Now we went to promise function 1, we called it, it returned some value. What we did, we decrease the value of pending. Okay, now our pending was 3 and it became 2. We went to function 2, we did not get any value. So what happened, this value was 2 only now, and this function 3, it returned third promise, so our value got decreased to 1. Now this value pending is 1, it is not becoming 0. So in such cases, when pending is not equals to 0, it is not equals to 0, then it will throw errors simply. And the time, as soon as we see this function all of them are returning value and this pending is becoming 0, we will resolve it with the result. Okay, so we need the values in the array. Okay, because when this value will, means we need the value in the array or the result, because when we resolve, we need to resolve with the values that are returned by these promises. Okay, so I'll show you what is happening here. Now we have this, let's say functions only. So in this functions, for each function we are iterating here. Okay. Now for each function if we are iterating, let's remove it and make it function. Now let's say I have changed it to function. Function, okay. Now this is functions, right? So I will change it to functions. Now this function, it will be called every time. We don't need, we need the index. Now this function needs to be called, then it will return a promise. So what we will do, we will call a function, and we had been told that this function does not take an argument, okay. So we don't need to send any argument, we just need to call this function, and then if it is getting resolved, it will return some value. And now what will happen, this value that we are getting, okay, this value we are getting here, we will assign it in the result, right? Now we are getting some value, we have assigned it in the result, that means our means we are getting something, right? So what will happen, we will reduce this value of pending by 1, okay. So now let's say we have function 1 here, our work for function 1 is done, it is getting resolved, so we have decreased the value of pending by 1. Now what is happening, we have function 2. Let's say for now only this also returned the promise, or it is getting also resolved. So what is happening here, this function will be called again, and means for the first index it will return a promise. If it is getting resolved, so the value will be stored in result, and pending will decrease to 1 now, okay. So now we will go on the last value, the function 3 is also getting called here, and it is also returning a promise, it is getting resolved, pending is becoming 0. Now as soon as we see that pending is becoming 0, what we will do, the result that we have been storing here, or the values that we are storing in the result array, we will resolve it and return the value, okay. And now in cases, okay, where let's say the function 1 got resolved, fine, the function 2 is not getting resolved, now this function is getting called, okay, and it is not getting resolved, then what will happen, it will simply go to the error part, and with the function which caused error, it only will return that error, right? We were told, right, the first function that is getting like rejected, it should the new promise should get rejected with that error only. So here we will get the same reason with which the first function was getting rejected, or the first promise was getting rejected. So this is the basic structure of the promise.all, okay. So now let's move on to the code. So if you guys have any doubt in this, please let me know in the comments, so I will be able to clarify even more, okay. So now let's move on to the code editor. So let's see the code now, okay. So what we have to do here, we will be declaring two variables, one will be storing the result or the resolved values, and the other one is the pending state, okay. So we will declare it. Before that, what we will do, we will be returning a new promise, right? So let's do that first. We will return a new promise, and inside that we will see what is required. Return new promise, and it will either get resolved or rejected. Now in this function we will declare the variables result, and the other one is pending, right? So pending will be equals to the length of the array of, that is functions array. So we have the length here. Now what we will do, we will iterate on that functions, right? Functions dot for each now it will have two values, we will use two values, one will be index, one will be each function, okay. So we have function here and we have index here. Now what we will do, we have to call each function, right? So we will be calling this function and it will return a promise, and this promise will either get resolved. So if it is getting resolved, it will have some value, and for that value what we need to do, we need to assign that in result. So in results, at the given index I, we will assign that value. Okay, and the pending value will decrease by 1. So we will do pending minus minus, and now in here only we will check. As soon as we find that pending is becoming 0, we will resolve. Okay, so here only we will check pending is becoming 0, then what we will do, we will resolve with the result. So we are resolving here, resolve results. Fine, we are resolving here, and now what we have this as the like means our promise is getting resolved, then we are getting a value. If it is getting rejected, then we will catch the error and reject the error, right? So or yeah, so we will get the error here, and what we will do, we will reject it. So we will reject error. Now let's try to run this code. So the sample test cases are passed. Now let's try to submit it. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video helpful and quite easy to understand. If you did, please let me know in the comments, and if you found something hard to understand, please let me know that in the comments too. And in order to continue with me in this coding journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.